Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, our state, and our country. We combine them with comments, tips, ideas, and suggestions that you may share that we come up with so that we can all end up having a most amazing life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals. That's who we are. That's what we're about. So if the shoe fits you, grab your favorite beverage, sit around, join us this morning. And if you're new, please let us know. You can do that by adding the word new to your comment, and we'll be so very glad to give you a proper welcome. Today is Monday, July 12th, and as always, we are so very happy to be here. We are, by the way, back to navigating and broadcasting through Telmex. We do this reluctantly and hesitantly because we don't know exactly what's going to happen if we're going to implode halfway through the broadcast. If we do, please know that whenever this happens, we find a way, or we try to find a way to restart the broadcast, and a lot of times this has to do with you having to re-find the live broadcast. We don't like this, but again, our first priority here is to make sure that we have the best connectivity so that we can enjoy our morning get-togethers. So, what do we have today? Vaccine campaigns. We have places getting their act together in light of the third wave of COVID-19. We have a restaurant that we're going to rant about, but not without finding a constructive way to deal with a rant. We have a new person, Josh. Hello, Josh. I'll get to your comment in a second. Moving to PV very soon. Awesome. Excellent. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines. It's great to see you here. And what else do we have? Well, we have a bunch of interesting news today, so we might as well get on with that, and we'll take it from there. Okie dokie, let us start with vaccines. There are 1,800 vaccines available at La Lija today for folks in their 30s that somehow did not get vaccinated last week. And authorities are also announcing that priority today will be given to folks working in the tourism sector. According to the authorities, there are approximately 1,200 workers in hotels, motels, bars, and nighttime venues that could largely benefit from this campaign. But as a reminder, the campaign is only available for those looking for their first vaccine shot. We have sad news for Puerto Vallarta. For the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic began in March of 2020, Puerto Vallarta went over 100 new daily cases for the first time this past Friday, July 19, with 122 new cases reported on that day, plus one death. Prior to Friday, the highest number of daily new cases in Puerto Vallarta had ever seen was in August 18, 2020, when 81 cases were reported, and then this past July 6th when 82 cases were reported. So this is what we now have, and it is not a pretty sight. And of course, with the third wave of the COVID 19 pandemic in motion here in Mexico, many tourism destinations are implementing new restrictions in light of the summer vacation period, which just started this weekend. For example, Puerto Progreso in Yucatan is closing their malecon on weekends. Acapulco is lowering occupancy. Oh, that one's going to chase me for the rest of my life. Uh, Acapulco is lowering capacity in bars, hotels, and movie theaters starting tomorrow. Tamaulipas is closing their bars altogether. And here are some more related news. In the city of Culiacan in Sinaloa, where over 300 new COVID cases were registered in the last 24 hours, and that's 3 times more than in Puerto Vallarta, a street party was shut down over the weekend, along with 3 bars and a restaurant. In the city of Guadalajara, 5 bars in Zapopan, the municipality that's right next to the city, and 3 bars in Guadalajara proper were shut down over the weekend for not following pandemic restrictions. In Yucatan, in a specific place in Yucatan, in Chicxulub, which is a venue, not a venue, a city, I think. Another outdoor party with over 300 people was also shut down at a venue where the owner can end up paying a fine as high as 180,000 pesos. Meanwhile, here in Puerto Vallarta, well, it is Puerto Vallarta. You know, as I told you Saturday, I walked the Malecon late Friday evening and it was business as usual. And yesterday, Reporte Diario reported this news item, confirming that for the most part, it is business as usual in Puerto Vallarta. And according to this note, local bars and venues should be operating at 40% capacity. 40% capacity. I wish I had something more useful to tell you about these things other than to turn back and walk away from a restaurant or a venue that does not meet your criteria. But, you know, this is not a good time to be spending time at nighttime venues. It just isn't. That is, if you want to take care of yourself and your loved ones and follow the current restrictions. In other news, authorities have announced that the ongoing maintenance work along Federal Highway 200 from Puerto Vallarta to Tepic and points north and east will continue. The work will continue between San Pancho and Lo de Marcos until September. And although most of the work is scheduled at night between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m. the following morning, it is still resulting in very long delays. In this other related note, this article highlights that it can take up to 9 hours for people in Guadalajara to reach Puerto Vallarta through that highway. It usually takes between 4 and 5 hours on a good day. So if you have to head in that direction or you're coming to Puerto Vallarta using this highway, you may want to reconsider, as you can expect all kinds of delays as you move from one point to another. So those are the first. That is the first batch of news. Let us now turn over to the weather just to see what we can expect as we begin this new week here in Puerto Vallarta. Well, it is 27 degrees now here in town. It feels like 33. Humidity is at a whopping 100%, so it's going to be a humid day. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 81. And according to our snarky weather, your local weatherman cheats on his wife, and that's why his reports are different from mine. Well, that explains everything. Our weather forecast for today is we're going to have possible light rain in the evening with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 24. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we can expect a humid and mostly clouded day through the day with a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 24. And Wednesday, we will have possible light rain in the evening and overnight with a high temperature of 33, low temperature of 24. And that is what we have in terms of weather for the next few days. Nothing particularly new and excited. We haven't heard of new tropical storms, so I suppose this is a good thing, although we like it when it rains. Let's see what else we have before we. Oh, we have another one that I forgot to tell you about. Sorry, my bad. Coapinole. If you live in Coapinole, expect for some water shortages today between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. because our good friends at Chapala are going to be working on this. And even though I I find that Chapala seems to be working on something all the time. I really appreciate the fact that Chapala, as a works company, the waterworks, takes the time to let people know that they're doing something. You know, heaven forbid our dear friends from Telmex would provide such a comprehensive service, but I will not start my Telmex rants just yet, anyhow. Now, going back to other leisurely headlines that I want to share with you, this past Saturday, our friend Terry from Nueva Vallarta mentioned a Facebook group that I was not familiar with. It is called Puerto Vallarta Buy Nothing, which is a great place where you can announce items you may have at home that you no longer use and would like to give away. What a great idea! I took a quick look at the group and will add it to the show notes in case you are intrigued. Personally, I'm the kind of person that I just can't be bothered with home sales or with putting articles on sale. I always personally find it more trouble than it's worth. So it is nice to see that there is a place where we can give things away and hopefully they can find someone who can find a good use for them. I also want to let you know that over the weekend I received a message from the nice folks at Cafe Bravo asking if we accept sponsorship advertising. Cafe Bravo, I figured I don't know anything about this. I explained to them that we do not accept sponsorship advertising, but because it seemed to be a new business venture in town, I quickly asked for more information, went to explore their Facebook page, and I indeed found out that they launched their own brand of organic coffee brought into town from La Cuesta, which is near Talpa de Allende in the state of Jalisco, of course. And they are selling this organic coffee from a distribution point in Pitillal, but they're also making home deliveries. The coffee costs 160 pesos per each bag of 480 grams of coffee, and they will deliver it anywhere in Puerto Vallarta for an additional 35 pesos. So if you'd like to support a new business in town and try some organic coffee grown in our state, please check them out on their Facebook page. We will share it with the show notes. And as for ourselves, no, we don't thrive on doing advertisements here in Coffee and Headlines, but we will always go an extra mile to support a new business if we hear of a new business. I put the nice folks at Cafe Bravo in touch with this Saturday market that takes place at the walkway next to Pitillal, and it's going to happen this Saturday again. I told them maybe this is a good place for you guys to sell your product, and hopefully they will follow suit. Now, my last news item of today is a rant, and again, as I said earlier, we would not rant unless we find a way to turn it into something positive. So I'm going to tell you my rant, and then I'm going to invite you to help me turn this into something possible. Possible and positive. Now, here, as you know, we're not keen on ranting unless it's Telmex. Seriously. Um, Ranting is something that we don't find very productive unless we find a productive way to deal with it. So I'm going to tell you about, well, let me cough. Ah, that was good. So, you know, we've come to realize that if we want to go to a business, we can always check on Facebook or on Google Maps to see if they are open for business on a particular day. So this Saturday, my friends and I wanted to find a nice place to go and have lunch. And we decided, oh, let's go to Pozolitlan, which is a restaurant that we've mentioned here before. We like it very much. And just to confirm where their opening hours are, you know, we scrolled through their Facebook page, and I saw that they have their price range, they have all kinds of information, but they don't have their opening hours. I figured, okay, well, maybe they have their open hours on Google Maps. So I very quickly went to Google Maps and found them. There they are, Pozolitlan, and I see that Google Maps tells me that they're closed, but they open at 1:30. And then I scroll down and I see that they open at 1:30 every single day. And I figured, okay, so 1:30, we'll be there shortly after 1:30. And what do you know? We get to Pozolitlan at 1:45, and Pozolitlan is being cleaned. Like they're still cleaning it and stuff like that. And we figured, well, maybe they're running a little behind schedule. And I asked the cleaning person, well, what's going on? And the cleaning person just looked at me and she said, oh, no, on Saturdays we open later than that. And just like that. Didn't have any kind of explanation, didn't have any kind of anything. And I have to say, restaurants, if it was expensive for you guys, and I'm talking about all restaurants, if it was expensive for you guys to publish your business hours on Facebook or on Google Maps, I would be inclined to feel some empathy. But seriously, it costs nothing. It is free for you to post your business hours in both venues, in both Facebook and on Google Maps. But it's not done. Why not? So, what we need to do here, and what I'm inviting you to do, is pick your favorite restaurant. Pick your favorite restaurant. And you cannot pick any of Michael Beaufort's restaurants because I picked them first. Pick your favorite restaurant, get in touch with the owner, and say, hey, just make sure that you have updated your hours on Facebook and on Google Maps because it's free. And by doing this, you can keep customers from getting pissed off at you, like I was pissed off at Pozolitlan. I'm still going to love them. I'm still going to, support them. But I sent them a nice little love letter, and hopefully they will fix what is now broken. Because I'm sure I'm not the only person in the city that relies on this kind of information for us to be able to know that we can head over to a place we like to support, confident that the place is actually open. And with that, I'm going to stop the rant, stop the news, and I'm going to rewind our comment tape just to see who's here and what you guys are up to. As always, lots of good mornings. Thank you very much for all of those. Let's see what else we have. Oh, I have to say, Dan, that I saw this checking in from the sandbar in the middle of the Mississippi River, and my first visual was like a small mound of sand in the middle of a river, and you standing there next to Kathy and her wheelchair, and I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck did they get to the middle of the river? So, wherever you are, it's great that you're checking in, and please know that you are missed. Let's see what else we have. So happy to have you, Pat. Oh my God, and something else. You guys, I am so proud of you because whereas there's a lot of things that we cannot control, certainly things that are related to the pandemic, I published a little video so that we could help our local friend find a home for her foster cats, for our friend Julie. And so many of you were so kind to share the notice. And I know that Julie is getting a lot of hits because of it, and she's very grateful. And I know that she's going to keep us in touch, keep us abreast of what's going on with her. And so, how nice that whereas there are certain things we cannot change, we can at the same time execute kindness by doing simple things and bring hope and bring solutions to somebody's challenges. I think that was absolutely wonderful, and I thank you so much for partnering with me on that small but very important mission. Welcome back to work, Logan. I'm so glad that you're back in the city. And I hope to see you again soon after you get caught up with work. Josh, we learned, is new. Just left after 8 months stay. Looking forward to selling off my place in Canada and getting back to PV. Good for you. Good for you. And thank you for your kind words about coffee and headlines. It's much appreciated. David is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, David. Happy birthday. You're not begging for birthday wishes. Well, have a birthday wish. There you go. In fact, there you go. Do, 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 do. There you go. Okay, so what else do we have? Um, Karen is driving from Ohio to Indiana, which is why we read out some of your comments so that the people that are not actually watching a video can understand what we're talking about. So, to all of you that are not watching but rather are just listening, we have your back. Thank you very much for checking in. Let's see what else we have. Ba-ding, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, bam. Ay, Angelica, cosita. How is the dancing in PV? Are they dancing without mask? If you're talking about venues, of course they're dancing without a mask. And of course they're in proximity without a mask. And of course the local government is not doing anything about it. And if they are, they're not publicizing it at all. It's Puerto Vallarta, the friendliest city in the world. uh, let's see what else. Paco, you are so correct to still have a healthy concern for protecting yourself from COVID. Well, I certainly hope so. And I certainly hope all of you cluster friends are doing whatever we know we have to do to take care of ourselves. This is sad to read. Girl at my work got COVID-19 and is now on a ventilator. So sad. I'm sorry to hear about that, John, but it is very real. It is definitely happening. Um, Definitely happening. Let's see what else. But in PV, there are a lot of locals that don't wear masks. This is true. There are a lot of people not wearing masks, and what else can one do about that other than just turn around and get as far away from these people as possible? Lynn would like to know more about arrival protocols, i.e., testing. There are no protocols in Mexico. Mexico, to the best of my knowledge, does not have any arrival procedures other than they may ask you, how are you doing? Did you get tested? Are you this and that and the other? But to the best of my knowledge, when you enter Mexico, you just enter and you just get here and you continue about your business. Let's see. Oh, come on, Michael. Your husband's a sweetie. If we could post spouses. Seriously. I'll take your husband. He's not my type, but if you want to put your husband out in the buy and sell, I have an extra room for him. I like your husband. He's a sweet guy. I know you're joking. I know you're joking. Let's see what else we have. Uh, let's see what else he had. Julie says, I love their pozole rojo. Julie, again, I'm not saying they're bad people and I'm not going to chastise them and not wish for them to burn in hell, but it's difficult for me to understand when a resource like Facebook is free, to put just your basic information. How difficult can it be for a restaurant to just do that? I mean, hello, restaurants, if you are watching, anybody out there, take 5 minutes of your time and put your hours on Facebook. I guarantee that many new and old and potential clients will be grateful for that. And again, whatever your favorite restaurant is, if you have 5 minutes of your time, just drop them a note. Or if it's your favorite restaurant and you go in the next few days, just let them know. We'll be doing a good deed and we will be able to turn a rant into something possible. Thank you very much for that, Lynn. Yes, I sent them a note this morning because here's the big irony. Let me show you the page for Pozolitlan, this is to me the very amusing part. Here's a Pozolitlan, and right at the top of their page, apparently yesterday, check this out. Yesterday they posted, "Dear clientele, due to technical failures in one of our equipments, I suppose a stove or something, today we won't be able to offer you service. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for your understanding." I mean, it's not like Pozolitlan doesn't know how to do it, but I wrote them and I said to them, it's much appreciated that you did this, but how can you do this and not even update your hours? So, there you have it. That's just my 2 cents. Uh, oh, okay. I stand corrected. Think of it as a big sandy island with houses and buildings sitting in the middle of the Mississippi River. Okay, that's a better explanation and a prettier visual than what I imagined. I am so glad to read you, Dan, and I hope you and Kathy are doing great. Um, uh, there you go, Mary Jane. Sorry, as long as we approach the businesses in kindness, or in a way in which we are lending a helping hand, it's also possible that businesses don't know this, and instead of just complaining, we could help them out by just showing them the way to do it. Let's see what else. Catherine, who was with me on Saturday, says it's really helpful if you want customers. Well, of course it is. Uh, Interesting. Hamburger Mary's Puerto Vallarta is horrible at opening when they say they are open. Every time I went there, they were closed, but websites say they were open. Well, this is a very easy way for a business not to do well in Puerto Vallarta. Uh, you know, it is what it is. What can I tell you? One tries to be supportive, but if you can't help yourselves, let's see what else. Da da dee da da. Uh. Clayton King says, "You think a trip to Lake Chapala is an all-day or overnight experience?" Oh my goodness, I understand that Lake Chapala is a beautiful place to go and spend time and do an overnight experience. Certainly, I wouldn't do a day trip to Lake Chapala from Puerto Vallarta because it'll take you, well, we just talked about the highway. It'll take you at least 8 to 9 hours to get there. So, no, I mean, I don't see Lake Chapala from Puerto Vallarta as a day trip. It is more of a of an overnight experience. Uh, uh, Did anyone's doctor mention to you that if you got the shot that you don't need to wear a mask, asking for a friend? Well, I don't know what to tell you. In Mexico, it's been said that wearing a mask is a good idea even after you have been vaccinated. And in fact, going around flaunting, "Well, I've been vaccinated, so I don't have to wear a mask," is very much frowned upon here in Mexico. And I know that there are some business owners that will turn you away and will shut the door on your face if you attempt to walk into a business um, that it's saying that, "Well, I've been vaccinated, so yeah, you have to wear a mask." Let's see what else. Let's see what else. A temperature is taken when arrived by flight, and fill out a questionnaire on an app. Need a vivid test to board a plane when leaving, and it going to a country that requires testing upon arrival. Yes, that I was familiar with. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. I see potential new clients for you in helping these restaurants manage their paces and keeping them updated. Thank you very much, Elvin. I am next to done with the business of doing social media for other companies simply because I find that the time required to take care of this production and to take care of my own projects is keeps me busy all the time. So all we can do is provide support from this point of view. But I appreciate your thoughts very much. Uh, But I like Catherine's comeback. If they won't do it for free, I doubt they will pay for somebody else to do it. Good point. Good point. Uh, let's see what else we have. The businesses here in San Miguel de Allende will advertise on Facebook but never list their address. So many I have yet to find. I don't blame you. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Bum, 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 bum. I think we are pretty much uh, at the end of the comments. Although there's a question here: is there a push on for an increase in local vaccinations? I'm just thinking that with some unvaccinated people coming down during the coming winter season, that's it has the making of the perfect storm. What is your personal sense of what is ahead in Puerto Vallarta for the COVID situation? Well, David, since you ask, I will say that the government, the local government, has been taking some actions. Um, th- those actions are like they are there are new banners along the Malecon in English and Spanish saying "Go get vaccinated." There are people giving away vaccines, not vaccines. There are no people giving away vaccines. Stop, stop. There are people giving away face masks at strategic points and gently asking people to wear them. But is that enough? Or is that too little too late? I think, I pessimistically think that Puerto Vallarta is in a perfect storm. And as long as Puerto Vallarta continues to send a message that we don't really care by not providing testimony or evidence of bigger actions like shutting down businesses, things are not going to change much. The cases are going to continue to increase, and we will come out of the green sun, the green sign, the green color in the national COVID test, COVID stoplight rather. We'll come out of the green, and at some point we will get new restrictions, and it'll be not pretty. It'll be not pretty. So I may be pessimistic. I may be, I don't know, I don't know. But what is my personal sense? My personal sense of what is ahead in PV for the COVID situation. I am now. I was looking forward to going to Guadalajara. I am now mentally prepared to face the fact that we could be as bad as we were at the beginning, and if we survive the first restrictions, we may have to survive them again. Let us hope that that is not the case. But again, all we can do from our personal point of view is take care of ourselves, take care of our loved ones. We've said so over and over again, and we will continue to say so until we get tired of it, which is not going to happen because we will always care about this community. So, again, this is the way we begin our week with trepidation, but with optimism that while there are certain things we cannot control, then there are other really wonderful positive actions we can take to at least sleep better at night. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much for supporting Coffee and Headlines whenever you can. You know that this is possible thanks to you, and we appreciate that very much. Stay kind, stay well protected, stay happy, and come back tomorrow because tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. Have a great day.